Once upon a time, in the distant land of Aloria, there lived a king known as King Alden. He was a ruler with grand ambitions, a heart torn between conquest and compassion. King Alden was not born mad, but driven to it by his zealous dreams and a council of sycophants who fed into his deepest fears and desires. The court jester, Roderic, loyal to a fault yet wise beyond his years, watched this transformation with a heavy heart. Roderic had known the king since he was a child, when Alden was just a boy with dreams of a united and prosperous kingdom. Years passed, and the weight of the crown bore down heavily on Alden's psyche. His decrees became more erratic and his behavior more unpredictable. He would spend hours alone in his chambers, muttering to himself, drawing intricate maps of lands he planned to conquer, or soothsaying a future only he could see. The council, fearing for their positions, only encouraged his madness, whispering tales of betrayal and rebellion that further isolated Alden from his people and reality. The once vibrant and flourishing kingdom of Aloria began to crumble under his reign. Roderic, unable to bear the sight of his friend's descent, concocted a plan. He knew the king needed to be reminded of who he truly was and the love he once held for his people. Disguising himself in the garb of a humble villager, Roderic ventured into the kingdom to gauge the people's sentiments. He heard stories of their suffering, their loss of hope, and a longing for the king they once knew. Armed with tales of the people's plight and the remnants of their hope, Roderic returned to the castle. In a daring move, Roderic, still in disguise, managed to gain an audience with the king. He spoke passionately of the kingdom's past glories and the people's love for Alden that had turned into fear. Alden, initially enraged by the audacity of a mere villager, listened intently as the words struck a chord deep within. The fog of madness briefly lifted, and Alden realized the horrors his rule had inflicted. Overwhelmed with guilt and sorrow, he cast aside his grandiose ambitions and slowly began to rebuild his kingdom, with Roderic by his side. Though Alden's mind never fully returned to its former clarity, with Roderic's guidance and the rekindled support of his people, Aloria saw a new dawn.